At this point, Jonathan is becoming a cycle, because how do you move from crying that your car is gone, that you no longer have a car as a big Joe, to fighting Clara, that Clara allowed Hans to sleep with her, with including your own daughter? All this information you got from Emeka, thanks to Emeka that is manipulating you. Because I don't understand, Jonathan has lost himself completely. This is becoming so worrisome, because when it comes to Emeka, no matter what Emeka does to Jonathan, Jonathan still believes that Emeka is his right hand man and that he has not done anything wrong. Even when people are trying to make Jonathan understand that Emeka has a hand in what is going on with him. He was the same person that linked him to that business, the same person that organized somebody to borrow him money. Now he is still the same person that is bailing Jonathan from the same police station that they did not allow anybody to visit Jonathan. It is still Emeka. And up till now, Emeka has refused to see something fishy going on. There is going to be a serious battle between Emeka and Debbie, because Emeka told Debbie, he promised Debbie that he's going to give Debbie some part of that money when eventually sell Big Joe's car. Now that he has succeeded in selling that car, he is enjoying the money alone. He has refused to give Debbie her own cut. Debbie will not take it lightly with Emeka, and this is going to be the issue that will result to them exposing each other. Right now, I feel so sorry for Benny, because why would they go that extent of uploading her naked pictures online? That girl never did anything wrong, including Hanks himself. Now they have made this thing now to become, things that is pertaining Benny. It's no longer about Hanks. Because if they were actually going after Hanks, they would have gone after Hanks. Again, I ask, what are you people going to gain by doing this, destroying Jonathan's family? You have succeeded in destroying Jonathan. You have succeeded in doing a lot to Clara. Now Clara is worried, and you still want to do the same thing to the daughter. It is crazy how evil people behave. They don't care about whether you are hot or not. They don't care. They just want to achieve their evil aims. I like the fact that Hanks decided to ignore Jonathan, because I am very sure that Jonathan is looking for a means to implicate Hanks. But by ignoring him, he is also trying to escape from the trap he's trying to set on him. Emeka decided to meet with the person that he claimed borrowed money to Jonathan. But then this young man was complaining, because remember that Jonathan is very aggressive. When it comes to that his baby, that car, Jonathan never plays with his baby. Emeka told him you need to be very patient with him, because that young man is very, very aggressive. He does not play with his car. All right. So I'm going to get somebody. In fact, I have involved the police. So the only thing you need to do right now is to wait for my call. Once you see my call, you come in, and then we'll pick him. I want him to sleep in the police station. Now the question is, what has Jonathan done to Emeka? Because the only thing that we see so far that Emeka wants is to destroy Jonathan. What has he done? Now you want to pick up his car, you want to sell his car and enjoy the money so that he will start trekking on the street. That is exactly what he wants. And even the young man is even surprised that this guy has this bad intention towards Jonathan. But then Benny could no longer hold anything back. She had to run to the mother to tell him, "Mommy, see what is going on. Dad has just lost his car." You can imagine what is going on. The young girl is worried. And then Clara was like, this will be the end of Jonathan. No? Because Jonathan does not play with his car. After everything, the only thing he holds so dear to his heart is his car. So if he no longer have that car, that means Jonathan is going to kill himself. I mean, she was so surprised when Benny began to narrate the story that it was still the same Emeka that linked him up to that man. He was still the same person that linked him up to somebody that borrowed him money. And now that car is gone. It is very fishy. But the fact that Jonathan has refused to see it, rather he has, blinded his eyes towards anything that anybody is, trying to make him see, is very, very disturbing. Clara began to see the part that Benny was actually making her to see. Because if Emeka is doing all of this to Jonathan, the question is, how would Emeka bring a job? How will he bring a contract that he's not interested in? Emeka is somebody that is also looking for money. He cannot just bring a wonderful contract like that to Jonathan. All right. That is why everything is very fishy. But the unfortunate thing is that Jonathan is not even willing to hold on or to listen to anybody apart from Emeka. When he came out as the big Joe, he wanted to step out, And then Emeka called him. I am very sure that Emeka is stalking these people. He called the young man and they brought the police people. These are fake policemen. If only Jonathan hesitated, this arrest, this whole thing wouldn't have, entered into the police cell. But Jonathan started by, I'm not going to allow you step into my car. I'm going to see a friend, and once I'm done, I can now take you people, or I'll come to the office to meet with you people since you said you are from the headquarters. And the police people say, if you are not going to allow us get into this car, then we have to handcuff you. And when Jonathan saw his family coming out, he decided to play the big Joe. Play the big Joe. He entered the car with the fake police and they drove him to that place. And that was how he lost his car. Jonathan is in serious trouble. After like a day, Jonathan had to sleep in the police cell with the mosquitoes and everything. A whole big Joe in police cell. This is crazy. Emeka came to actually bail Jonathan. And Jonathan was angry that why are you just coming? Why didn't you come earlier to bail me? You allowed me to sleep in there with the whole mosquito and everything. You hold me, Big Joe. Why are you doing this to me? And Emeka told Jonathan, listen, you should even be grateful that they allowed me to see you, because the police people did not allow anybody to see you. All right. So I had to press some buttons for them to allow me to see. These are all lies. The fact that Jonathan will not even believe you, even when you tell him that Emeka is lying, is the issue that we have on ground right now. When he came back, the family were just happy. They were, rejoicing that he's back. The daughter hugged him, and even Teresa went to hug him to welcome him back. The daughter started narrating the story that the mother, Clara, came to the police cell. She was ready to even sign a contract and undertaking that she's going to pay that money until it is complete. But she will pay bit by bit. In fact, she said she was going to involve a lawyer. You can imagine the kind of heart that Clara has. Clara has a good heart towards Jonathan. The only thing is that Jonathan does not have good heart towards Clara because he has allowed his friends to manipulate him. Clara, he was willing to make sure she does everything possible to bring Jonathan out of the police cell. But Jonathan never appreciated anything coming from Clara. But once Emeka said that was a lie, that if Clara so love or he cares about them, then why did you leave? It is obvious that now that Clara wanted to involve Hans so that at least it will help Jonathan to come out faster, it only means that Clara is still sleeping with Hans, just like the way he's sleeping with the daughter. That the Hans came to the school to pick up the daughter and took Benny to the mother. Now remember that this same Emeka was the one that paid talks to go and harass Benny. And then eventually Hans came to the picture and rescued the young girl, took the girl to the mother. And while Benny was trying to explain to the dad could not even believe it. He was already angry because he believed that Hans was the one that raped the daughter, and now he's also picking up the daughter, which means that what Emeka is saying is true. And Jonathan was hitting the daughter as if the daughter did something wrong, But after beating up the daughter, he immediately ran to meet up with Clara, to pick up a fight with Clara again for allowing, Hans to have his way again with the daughter. And when he met up with Clara, Clara came out of her car after Jonathan's hesitation that she's not going anywhere. He was just blocking everything. Clara came out and Jonathan started. Why did you have to do this to me? I am okay. It's okay for you to continue sleeping with Hans. But why do you have to bring my daughter to this? Are you crazy? Something wrong with you? Why did you have to do this? Now Hans had to go to my daughter's school to pick her up, and brought her to your own house. What exactly is going on? He went immediately slapped Clara. And Clara is not somebody that will ever wait for Jonathan. She immediately slapped Jonathan as well, so that Jonathan will understand what is going on. And then that was how it started. The fact that Jonathan is not even willing to listen to the girl explanation is what is getting Clara so upset. Clara was so angry with Jonathan for not letting that girl explain. If she even knew that Jonathan was beating the daughter because Emeka said something, she would have really gone mad with Jonathan. But then they started this fight because Jonathan refuses to allow Clara to drive off. And then he got to a point that Clara had to pick up the block, and it eventually landed on Jonathan's waist. He could no longer walk. While Benny was explaining to Madame Teresa about what happened, how those thugs were actually chasing after her before Hans came to her rescue, Jonathan came down, came back and was like trying to walk into the house because his waist was already broken by Clara. He went to pick up a fight with Clara simply because of what Emeka said. But the daughter at this point is, Dad, you didn't even allow me to explain. He was so furious. He wanted to beat up the daughter and all that. Thank God for, the intervention of Madam Teresa. If not, this whole thing would have really, really gone south. At this point, the daughter does not even care about what the father wants to do anymore. She doesn't care. She said to the father, you cannot do anything. Just leave me alone. You can't do anything. And Jonathan was just trying so hard. You can imagine somebody that is in pain moving to beat up somebody else. You are not even considering the fact that you are in pain. You should at least pity yourself, Jonathan. In the morning, he could no longer hold it back. He went to Hank's company to go and harass Hank. When he got there, the bouncer refused Jonathan entering into the establishment because he's actually coming here to, make noise and cause a lot of problems for Hank. He bounced him out and threw him out of the gate. Jonathan is really, really looking for trouble. When he eventually went to meet up with Kenneth asked him, what exactly is going on? What am I hearing? Remember, I warned you. I warned you against this move, but you refused. You feel that Emeka has the final say. Now what has happened? And Jonathan was like, now, at least I needed to try something. I can't just allow everything to go like that. As a man, I don't need to just give up on myself. I just needed to try something. It's just that it didn't work out. But the handwriting was written on the wall that this whole thing was fake. But because you feel that, Emeka has the final say when it comes to you, it was the reason why you ended up being scammed. Kenneth was like, I told you, the same car that you have lost is the same car that I told you to sell and get something, smaller for you to do driving job. But you refuse, that you are Big Joe. And he was still even claiming that he is Big Joe, he cannot be doing any driving job. But now you have lost the car, you don't have any job. And then Kenneth was like, have you seen? You keep on trusting Emeka. What is it about Emeka? What is it about Emeka? Can't you at least listen to somebody else apart from Emeka? But Jonathan said, Emeka is my right-hand man. He may have, linked me up with that guy. He may have, done a lot of things. Even though the business did not work out, Emeka is still my right-hand man. Emeka is your right-hand man, yet you want to, beg money from Kenneth. I'm so happy that Kenneth refused giving you that money. You should go to Emeka, that is your right-hand man, to give you money. Even up to now, you still don't want to believe that Emeka is the one that is trying to destroy your life. It's crazy. Jonathan might end up falling into a pit before he will realize it. When Benny went to the mother to explain to the mother that the father was beaten up because, Emeka told him that Hans came to him, she was very furious. Because at this point, it is obvious that Emeka is keeping tabs on these people. He's just stalking them. For what reason, Emeka? We don't know. Emeka just want to destroy this family for just no reason. And Clara said, if Emeka dares with me, I'm going to deal with him. Whatever he wants to do with Jonathan, I don't care, but let him not come close to my daughter. She was very, very angry. And that is how a mother has. They will never allow anybody out there to, deal with their children and go scot-free. Emeka needs to be taught a lesson. He cannot just eat his cake and have it. When Clara came out, he met with Emeka. Emeka, what is your problem? What is your problem with my family? And Emeka was like, what family are you talking about? The last time I checked, you left your family. And she went on, what are you doing with my daughter? Why are you following my daughter up and down? What is your problem? Emeka said, wait, the last time I remember, you left Jonathan without a child. Or I don't even know if you are barren. And you know that Clara is not somebody that will listen to this kind of, disrespect. She immediately slapped Emeka to put him on the straight line. Emeka was not like, you slapped me. You slapped me. That means you are even provoking me the more. My anger is coming up the more. That means I'm going to deal with you early enough. Clara is not somebody to joke with, That is one thing that I've come to discover about Clara. But over the night that Clara was trying to sleep, she could not sleep. She felt that something is wrong. Something is happening somewhere. And she can't even figure out or have her finger taps on what exactly is going on. Is it my daughter? Is it Jonathan? Is it my family? What exactly is going on? It's obvious that anytime something wants to happen, Clara always have a feeling about it. And then she can probably act fast to prevent it from happening. Hanks was eating the food that the mother prepared so delicious for him. He even appreciated the mom that the food was really, really nice. Then he got a message on his phone. When he opened that message, it turns out that the same, naked pictures of Benny is all over the internet. Can you imagine what they are doing to this young girl? He was so furious. Who is doing this? This is no longer about me. It's about that girl. Who is doing this? Whoever is involved in this, whoever is behind this, just want to destroy that girl. Emeka was already celebrating everything that is happening with Debbie. And Debbie eventually, she was out of curiosity, asked Emeka, to what end? Because I know you have already done a lot. According to him, Emeka said he has already dealt with Jonathan. Jonathan is nowhere to be found. He has given Clara a lot of problems, and now he has also dealt with Benny. So the question is, to what end? And Emeka said the only thing he wants is he wants Jonathan to die trying to escape everything that is going on. Whereas Jonathan has not done anything to him. And Debbie was like, so you want him to die? Don't you think that is too much? He just wants him to lose everything, especially now that everything is out. And then Debbie asked Emeka, where is my money? Where is my money? From the car that you sold. You sold Jonathan's car. Where is my own share of that money? I know that Emeka has eaten everything. And this will be the beginning of their exposure. They are going to expose themselves if Emeka refused to give Debbie her own share of that money. But we'll get to find out about it on the next episode. Please like the video if you are not like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll bring the next episode as soon as possible. For now, take care.